Okay, today we're going to start talking about tangents to circles. So the first thing that we need to take notice of is that when a line is tangent to a circle, it means like this line here. It only touches the circle once, and what's specific about it, oh, and that's considered the point of tangency at 8. And what is specific about a tangent line to a circle is that it is perpendicular to the radius. That's what we got here. So if you think about perpendicular, 90 degrees means you're probably going to deal with some Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so let's take a look. So if this is tangent, it wants us to prove it, then that means right there is our 90 degrees. So we can use our Pythagorean theorem, which is 8 squared plus 15 squared equals 17 squared, because opposite your 90 degree angle is your hypotenuse. So 8 squared is 64 plus 15, which is 225, equals 289. And when you add that together, you get 289 equals 289. So if that works, that means yes, they are tangent. So let's go for the next one, and let's do this next one. Go ahead and pause and give it a go yourself, and then jump back on when you're ready for the answer. And here's the answer. Okay, let's move on to the next. So here it says JK is tangent to the circle 1, find X. So if you take a look, isn't this right here? Let's do my thing. Isn't this right here the radius of the circle? Isn't that the radius of the circle? So that means we need to fill in that information. So this here is 10 as well. So if we do Pythagorean, we got 10 squared plus 24 squared is going to be equal to X plus 10 squared, because you're adding up this whole side. So we've got 100 plus 576 is equal to, and let me just leave this as X plus 10 squared. So this is 676, and this is X plus 10 squared. So to get rid of the square, remember we just square root both sides. And so then we've got the square root of 676 equals X plus 10. Well, the square root of 676 is, let me go over here, is 26. And if I subtract 10 from both sides, therefore X equals 16. All right, so go ahead and pause, give the other one a go, and when you think you got it, jump back on. Okay, here's the answer. Move on to the next one. So again, we're going to set this up. Hold on a sec. Okay, there's a random arrow on here, but whatever. Okay, so to set this up, we need to first do this. And remember, wherever it's tangent to the circle is your 90 degrees, which means we have 6.4 squared, and when you add these two together, you get 7, plus 7 squared equals X squared. 6.4 squared is 40.96 plus 49 equals X squared. Therefore, X squared is equal to 89.96, and when you do the square root property, you get 9.5. All right, go ahead and pause. When you're ready to take a look at the answer, jump back on. And here's the answer. Okay, next one. Okay, so here's some more stuff about tangent lines. If two segments from the same external point, so we are talking about here, and these two segments, if those two segments are tangent to the circle, then they're also congruent. That means this one is congruent to this one. And so if that's true, what you should think about is if a polygon is circumscribed around a circle, then all the sides are tangent. So this one is congruent to this one's congruent to this one, and that one is congruent to that one. All right, let's give this a go. Okay, so these two lines right here are tangent to the circle, which means they're equal, so we just have to set those two equations equal to each other. So subtract, I'm going to subtract 5x, and we get 23 equals 3x minus 19. Add 19. And when you add 19, you get 42 equals 3x. Divide by 3. And therefore x equals 14. All right, so go ahead and give the other one a go. As soon as you think you have the answer, turn it back on. So pause the video. And the answer is x equals 3. All right, moving along. So here we need to think about what is equal, and what we're trying to find is we're trying to find the length of this. So remember this and this, that's where your 90-degree angle is. And so I need to find that side. So one of the things I know is that this and this are equal, and same for these two because they're the radius. So let's use the fact that those two sides are equal and solve it. So we've got 10x minus 41 is equal to 4x plus 7. Subtract 4x, and I get 6x minus 41 equals 7. Add 41, and I get 6x equals 48, which means x equals 6. So if x equals 6, I'm going to plug that back into this side. So 10 times 6 minus 41 is going to be equal to 39, which means that side is 39. So I have this triangle now. This is 17, this is 39. I want to know what that is. So I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to go 17 squared plus 39 squared equals x squared. And 17 squared is 289 plus 39 squared, which is 1,521, equals x squared. So x squared equals 1,810, and then square root both sides. X is going to be equal to 42.5, and this was my x right here, so that means SB equals 42.5. So all you need to think about is you need to use the properties that was given you. Okay, so here what we're doing is we're looking for the perimeter. So one of the things we need to think about is these are all tangent, so they're all equal. So if that's true, I can go ahead and say this is 16. If that's 9.5, this is 9.5. So I'm just going to, this is 11, so 11 plus 11 plus 16 plus 16 plus 9.5 plus 9.5, or 2 times 11 plus 2 times 16 plus 2 times 9.5 equals 73. The answer is 73. So this next checkpoint, you're going to have to be a little careful, and you're going to have to think about how to do it. So actually, I think I'm just going to do this one with you. But if you want to give it a go ahead and pause. But the first thing I'm going to look at is I need to figure out how much each side is. And so if you'll notice, this whole side is 37.5. But I do know that this little bit right here is 23. So if I go 37.5 minus 23, I get 14.5, which makes this side 14.5. So this side is 14.5. This one's 27.1, so this little piece here is 27.1. When I subtract that from 52.5, I get 25.4, so this side is 25.4. Now I can go ahead and just add them all up. So 2 times 23 plus 2 times 14.5 plus 2 times 27.1 plus 2 times 25.4. When you do all that, your answer is 180. All right, next one. Okay, so here, just wrapping this all up, if you think about your circles and you're looking at your tangencies, if they're tangent, then these two are equal, and these two are equal, right? And also, something else you need to think about, if you have something that is tangent, don't forget about your 90 degrees. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right, we're done.